There. So today we have another review. This is one of the variants from Bourbon County this year. Goose Island. This is their Bourbon County Cherries Jubilee Cask Finish Stout. I know, that's a lot of words there. So this is their base, Bourbon County. It's actually finished in cognac barrels. So they actually transferred from bourbon into cognac. And then they add Montmorency cherries, orange zest, panela sugar, and some other natural flavors. I've actually never had a Cherries Jubilee. It's like an Escoffier, like turn of the 20th century dish. Turn of the 19th century. You know, like 1900s ish kind of dish. Old school dish. I don't know who's still serving it. It's like a tableside to do where they basically get kirsch. You know, you get a pan, and you get the cherries, they flambe it, and then they serve it over ice cream. It's literally just ice cream and some flambéed cherries. So nothing too complex, but I'm very curious to see what it does to the stout. Pitch black as usual, with the additional flavors and all this stuff. Still pretty big, 14.5, so not really, diminished in alcohol or anything. Looks quite dark. Beautiful carb on that too. I want to say, just appearance-wise, looks a bit better than the base. A little bit more head being built. You really see the dark color to it. On the nose, yeah, sweet. I mean, it's Bourbon County, chocolatey, vanilla-y, desserty, all that kind of like chocolate cake and all that bourbon vanilla sweetness. But then there's a little bit extra oomph of like dark fruit character. A little bit of this kind of, I mean, it's noticeable. It's got like, honestly, you got to get really deep into it to really get that kind of like candied cherry flavor. Otherwise, it just smells like a very dark fruit forward Bourbon County, which does happen to the beer. There's there's vintages, and with aging, there are some that are just super dark fruit forward, and I love that about this beer. The dark fruit really comes in very heavy sometimes, like cherries. A lot of times I get compote, so this combination of like raspberries, blueberries, and cherries, and all this stuff, and just like stewed, sort of like what this dish is, where it's just cooked berries, right? You get this beautifully cooked. It's jammy, if that helps you describe it, just like berry jam, right? Some of that like oak and char tobacco. Cheers. Have it slightly cold. Not bad. Not bad. Relatively subtle kind of attack. Nothing too overly dominant with the cherry stuff. As you wait more, get a little bit of this kind of like cherry sweetness on the back end. A little bit of this kind of candy cherry character. Again, full blind, I would have a hard time figuring out this was a variant. Which is, I don't know if it's a compliment or not. Oh. Certainly tastes better than the base beer. At least this year's vintage. It's smoother. It's sweeter. It relies more on this kind of. Strangely enough, a lot of the character I'm getting is not really like this big, like, oh wow, this tastes like cherries and all that. It's more of this kind of like note that I get in some good vintages of Bourbon County. It's got this beautiful kind of like chocolate cake, chocolate brownie thing, just desserty. Not overly too sweet, but just desserty, right? Just imagine that chewy chocolate kind of to-do, that crumbly goodness. Again, some of my favorite vintages of Bourbon County have that note in there. The regular doesn't seem to have it that much. This one does. And then it's really fun. As you drink it and you look for it, there's just these spikes of, these are Montmorency cherries. The best analogy I can give you is those really, really good maraschino cherries that they use in old fashions. Not the bright red ones, but the ones that look like the dark red wine. What do you guys want? The fancy ones. Some are made by Marasca. Some are imported from Italy. Some are actually, I think, American produced. I think Filthy is an American brand. So I actually don't even know if that's sourced from Italy. But either way, if you work out at a bar, or you've been to a decent bar, you get an old fashioned, you should have some good cherries, and that's sort of what the flavor you're getting here. Just a little bit of that kind of cherry just like jumps on the palate. Like you're not really looking for it, and then boom, it hits you here and there. As I wait more, I get some really nice kind of panela brown sugar thing. From my stand, panela, I think it's like unrefined sugar. Brown sugar, right? So it's got this molassesy, brown sugared, caramel, almost creme brulee kind of sweetness. Because again, the dish is a flambéed dish. So ideally, you have some of that kind of complexity of charred sugars, right? I'm curious what the cognac's coming in too. I can see a little bit of complexity in the barrel, right? It's not just straight bourbon. There's this like smooth, again, cognac. It's kind of like sweeter, dark fruit, more sweeter, more dark fruit forward, more like just an added liqueur complexity, right, on top of the bourbon. It's very good. I'd much prefer this over the base beer. I think it honestly could. I mean, it's right on the edge. It's on that edge where I'm debating myself. Like, I like the fact that it's subtle. It doesn't really overly rely on cherries, and it's not overly sweet. But then I also think that it could just have a little bit more complexity, a little bit more zip and zag, like, you know. Honestly, as it warms up, I bet it just shows up more and more. And as I wait more, that little like hint of cherry I was getting, I'm noticing it more and more and more. So again, I'm gonna try to warm up one more hit for you guys, and this might, yeah, I think they might have like hit it right on the nail of the head, like just perfect amount of complexity of the additional ingredients. I think it's just at a really nice, subtle place. I would say for most consumers, if you're paying like, you know, I forget, yeah, I think you have to pay almost double what regular Bourbon County is. I would say you got to turn the dial up just a little bit more, you know. If the intensity is, for me, like how this 5 would be perfect, right? Like 0 is too little flavor, 10 is too much flavor. I would say this is maybe a 4 or 5, right? So like, if anything, that's perfect. But I think maybe most people would probably want a 6, 7, 8, right? Like turn it just a little bit more adjunct forward. I think this is about a 4 or 5, just like maybe a 4. Like 5 is perfect. It's right under that subtle amount. It's a little too subtle. That's like right. If 5 is perfect, you know, 0 is too much, 0 is too little, 10 is too much, 5 is perfect. This is at a 4. Yeah, and then I'd say most people actually want like a 6 or 7. But at my palate, a 5 would be perfect. Just a little bit more flavor. Just a little bit more. But it's very good. It's better than the base beer. Absolutely fantastic. Is it better than the double barrel? I'd say so. Because you're paying a lot less, too, I want to say, right? This bottle is probably 20-something, and the double barrel is like 40. I'd go with this. 100 out of 100. That is absolutely delicious. Beautiful nuance, this beer. Cherries Jubilee. Cognac. Cherries, orange, panela. That's good. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, 100 out of 100. This is going to be one of the best. Yeah. If you have to buy anything this year, obviously buy the 4-pack. This is a good deal. And you can age it, and you can try it multiple times. But you have to spend money on one of them. Get this. Ignore the double barrel. Cheers. Later.